With the Industrial Revolution around the time of the 1850s, European countries were developing a middle class of professionals and industrialists. This confidence in the new generation of workers was characterized by the belief that people were reasonable and able to make these choices with free will. This time period also emphasized toleration of others and respect for science and reason. The scientific revolution was a time of advancement, innovation, and development for new technologies that would change the way people would live their lives. Before the invention of the electric light bulb, people were at the mercy of natural light. Humphrey Davy in 1809 invented the electric light, and Thomas Edison invented the electric light bulb, the incandescent light bulb, in 1879. This changed the way people could work because before people were limited to only working when it was daylight, and candles were insufficient and dangerous to use during the evening when the sun came down and people couldn't see. It really shaped the way people live their daily lives. Oh no, it's so hard to read. This candle isn't bright enough. Ah, my eyes. What should I do? This is so much easier. What a difference. Light. I can actually see what I'm reading. Thank you, Thomas Edison. This has really made a difference in my life.
Prior to the 1800s, goods were primarily transported by man-made canals or by horse-drawn carriages. This, however, was too slow. There needed to be a better option to transport the goods from one place to the other. Therefore, in the 1800s, when George Stephenson had the first idea of public railroads, it had a major impact in society for how goods could be transported from one place to another in a quick amount of time, and also people could now use transportation on railroads as a way of means to get from one place to the other. In the 1800s, America was greatly impacted by the invention of the refrigerator by George Perkins. Prior to the refrigerator, goods were stored with ice or in places with snow to keep them cold. This, however, was not helpful for America because, or any part of the world in general, because they would not last long, and many diseases and deaths were caused by bacteria illnesses from food. For example, if we look inside the refrigerator, we can see many products that could not have been stored back in the early parts of the 1800s and before, such as orange juice, because without the refrigerator, you couldn't store goods for a long amount of time and they would expire. So certain areas and regions would be restricted to goods primarily in those regions, and foods that could, like from South America, could not come to America for them to eat. So the invention of the refrigerator allowed for more food and also more protection from diseases such as bacterial infections.
Before Alexander Graham Bell created the telephone in 1879, most people communicated using the telegraph. The telegraph was a good means of communication, however, it had many problems. One of the most significant problems of the telegraph was that it didn't allow people to have real conversations. This is because it was a series of messages that would be sent using impulses that the person on the receiving end had to decipher. So in stepped Alexander Graham Bell with his invention. He believed that voices could be reproduced over large distances. The way that this invention came about was that one day he was working with his so-called telephone, and he dropped acid on himself. Now his partner, or assistant, Thomas Watson, was sitting in the other room. Graham Bell called out to Watson that, "Hey, Watson, acid just fell on me." Watson did hear him. However, he didn't hear him through the door. He heard him through the receiver of the telephone. So this is how the invention came about. Ooh, a phone call. Hey, Michael, how's it going?